bellow!
Ever17 is a 2003 visual novel set in the near future in an advanced underwater theme park named Lemieux. The story focuses on a group of people who are visiting when an accident happens that leaves large parts of the installation flooded, trapping them in the lower levels. Putting their heads together, they must try to survive and find a way out, or barring that, wait for rescue, but gradually they discover that there's more to their situation than first meets the eye. You experience the story from two perspectives: Takashi, a young adult who more or less elects himself the leader and tries desperately to keep everyone alive, and the kid, a teenager with a bad case of laser-guided amnesia. Through your decisions, you influence the course of the story by way of which of the female characters to focus on, and ultimately how things will end for everyone. There are several bad and good endings to get, but only after getting all 4 good endings can you unlock the final path and the true ending where everything is brought to light. The story is amazing, which comes as no surprise as one of the writers of this game went on to make 9 Persons, 9 Hours, 9 Doors, hence why this game has several things in common with it. However, compared to that, this game's surprisingly lighthearted for having such a grim scenario. Still, there's a lot of depth to it, but I don't want to get too much into the specifics for spoilery reasons. But overall, there's a whole lot of suspense and emotion throughout. All of the characters are memorable in their own way and sufficiently fleshed out with their own tragic backstories that are central to the game's plot. There are many subtle bits of foreshadowing and twists, turns, and red herrings along the way, constantly keeping you guessing. And when I finally got to the true ending, my mind was spectacularly blown by the revelations that I really did not see coming. And on top of that, there are no cheap, perfunctory sex scenes to make things incredibly awkward like in some other games of this genre. The artwork is of course rather static with its lack of animation, but still pleasing to look at, with a decent variety of different character sprites and some very nicely drawn event pictures. The music is excellent throughout as well, with many memorable and dynamic tracks that are sure to get stuck in your head long after the game is over, particularly the opening theme song. However, if there are drawbacks to this game, it's the fact that you're going to have to replay the same scenarios over and over just to get a different outcome, and that can get tedious, especially when constantly getting a bad ending when you're not sure what you did wrong, and even when fast-forwarding past scenes you've already read, it can get a bit tiring. Plus, the English translation is a bit spotty in places, with spelling errors, grammatical errors, and traces of search and replace actions clumsily left in the script, but it's never too jarring. Still, drawbacks aside, Ever17 is an amazing sci-fi adventure for both newcomers and veterans of visual novels, so if you're up for a story that will captivate you all the way through, and if you can find a copy, give it a whirl. Just for the love of God, do not look up anything related to this game's story so you don't end up spoiling yourself.